Hello everybody, Triple D Designs here, and I just want to share with you my new method of building a warehouse and making things very well organized. So I've been building these display caps on the end of the hallways, showing what's down the hallway. So on this side I have the stone, and on this side I have all the woods. And so let me just show you what I've done in here and why I do this. So I've got the wall mounts. Instead of mounting them to the wall, I'm mounting them on the shelf by putting a switch plate on the wall and then using that to put it onto the floor. It takes a little practice at finding out just the right height for your shelving, but I'll go into that here in a little bit. Um, but sometimes when you have your wall plates near a wall, it will collide with the wall plate and it'll say display blocked and it won't open. So to remedy that, I've come up with a new, and of course it's the sun is going down. I've come up with a new layout. So I'm just going to wait till the sun comes up and start all over again because this is awesome. Let's get the sun coming up. Hello everybody, Triple D Designs here, and I just want to share with you my new method of organizing my warehouses. So, on the end of each of my warehouses, as I am building them, I'm adding these display cases to illustrate what is in these down the in the warehouse down the hall. So on this side of the warehouse, I have the wood, and on this side, I have all the various stones. And depending on the time of day and the angle of the sun, the glass will look a lot clearer. Like here, it looks really nice and clear because the sun's shining on the other side. That's getting it. It's going to show the red a lot more. It's hit just because the way the light hits it. But anyway, I want to show you what I've done here. So I've on the end caps, I put the wall mounts on the ceiling, and then I add this little light in here to help light it up on the ceiling there as well. And then I put the wall mounts as low down as I can get them on the bottom row. And then to keep the wall mounts from colliding with the walls and not opening up, I've come up with this little layout here for the walls. It's kind of a weird shape, but it allows the wall plates to open up completely and not get obstructed. So this is what I've been doing is. So let me go ahead and just toss something in there. I'll just toss my shield in there. Of course, that's a bad example. Let's find something that's going to actually open up the display. There we go. So if I would have had something up against the wall, like say this frost pine one here, it looks like it would be up against the wall right there, but because I nudged in the part that actually would be colliding with the display, that allows it to open up completely. So this is a layout I'm doing for my walls on each of these now. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you my process of building a room and a display case. All right, so let's get started. All right, so to get started, we're going to need to have, I'm going to use first order. So pick out your style that you want to go with. I'm using first order, and then of course you're going to want to have utility. You don't have to have vehicles. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and turn that one off. As long as you have utility, and then whatever the build kit you want to use is both those. You want to get both those selected. Because we are gonna make some switch plates here in a little bit. So I use a 2x2 wall. Actually, I'm using the wrong one here. I need to use the interior wall in order to make this work. Oh, and you do need the first order piece for the glass, unless there's another kit that has a glass wall like that. Right now, it's just the first order. Supernova has some glass, but not quite big enough for what we're wanting. So let me take a quick look at that. Yeah, they have some glass, but you can't see through it, and yeah, just you can't see through it very well. So I can't even see that wall behind it. So, and I don't have the marble anyway. But anyway, so I'm using the first order pieces, and then I've already decided this is where I'm going to have the corner of my build. And actually, I think I want to move it in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's give ourselves a little bit of more a walkway around the building. So I'm going to need 3 of these to start. Yeah. Or I could use this. Either way, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I can go ahead and start with that. It'll save me some materials. Yeah, that's right where I want it. All right. So this is going to be the outer wall, and I can just go ahead and make that solid. And then we use that 2x2 wall. And we're going to bring it in one. And then what I would do here is I want to have room for the the glass wall that's going to be in here. And let me go ahead and get that out of there. Get that supernova out of there. It's still selected. There we go. What I want to do is I want to have the glass wall, which I don't have the supplies for. I got to get the ruby from the chest. But anyway, I just want to make sure I leave room for 3 of these side by side. Which, in order to do that, I've already done the math for us. So we're going to start off, it's going to be inside, we want to have 3 spaces, and then right there we're going to have a wall. We can put a 2x2, and then 3 of these, and then we want to put that there. Another 2x2 there. Now we're not going to put one there like we did the other side. It has to be this wide. And then we're going to put this here. Actually, no, we're not. Not on the first one. The first one, we don't have that extra one on there. So we just... it nudged. All right. Now, the shelving is going to be a bit tricky. All right, so it's getting dark on me, so I'm going to go ahead and sleep, make it daytime, and we'll see you right back here. Okay, it's daytime now. Let's go ahead and continue on. So with the walls, we're going to be putting a shelf down, and I want to make the shelves out of 2x6s if possible. On the one end is how I've been doing it. It's 2x6 on one end. And I've done this a few times, so I know this is the right height that I want on this particular wall, on the first order interior wall. That's the right height. You will have to play around with it if you're using a different build kit wall, just to make sure it works for yours. But I put a 2x6, and then I do 3 2x16s, and then another 2x6 on the end. And that gets me right at the right spot there. Now, what I want to do is I want to have some more of those. There we go. All right. I basically want to build this out like this and then that direction. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I leave room for the wall plates. I don't have to do I'm going to do it this way. Now I can't have this one right here. I have to nudge it in. And on this one, I could just nudge the one in, or I could nudge two of them in, which is what I typically do. So I would nudge this one and this one in. Although I don't have to, so I'll go ahead and just try this. It's going to be the same result. It'll allow the wall plates to open up completely as they should. And then now that I've got that built there, I can put another 2x6 here. Some 2x16s. And another 2x6 right there. And then I want to repeat that process again. I typically start with that piece. And then we'll do this piece. And then we're going to move this one in a little bit. And we're going to move that one in a little bit. Now I can actually skip, instead of bringing it all the way to the wall, I can bring it 2 out. And it saves us another piece, so we don't have to put a 2x2 in there. Because we will be putting one on the end here. And then it will go like this, and one here. And then we're going to put another 2x8 wall here, and a 2x2. And again, I am using the interior pieces because the height of the glass that will be here, it'll be perfect for interior walls. And you don't have to put the glass on if you don't want the glass. If you don't want the red glass, or in the future, if someone's looking at this video, if there's a different color glass, you don't have to have the glass at all. So this is just the way I do it. And let's get this started so you can see we're basically just duplicating it for the next room. And I'm going to go ahead and stop here on that room. And then what I like to do whenever I build my chest, I put the latch side of the gem chest out toward the hallway, because over here will be the hallway. I put that side toward the hallway and get as close to the wall as I can get it. And I have my chest sideways. Takes up a little less room. I can fit 4 chests on the wall this way. And then I just pick a direction for the back wall of the room. Place those the same way. Oh, and I got that one backward. It's not a big deal, but if I do it consistently, it makes placing the wall mounts a lot easier. Alright, so the reason I do this is this spot is 5 studs wide. First 4 studs are the chest itself, and then the last one is the latch on the front. So when I place my wall mounts, which are 4 studs wide, I want them over the chest itself, but not over the latch. Because if I have it over the latch, it's just going to look a little weird offset. But if it's over the chest itself, it looks better. But before I can place that, I need to come over here to my switches and grab a pressure plate and do this old trick here. So I look at the black part of the switch, in case you're not familiar with it. You want to look at the black part of the switch close to the wall, and then I nudge that down and out to where it's green. Now I know up against the wall is over the chest. Up against that wall, the back wall. Now I move it toward me 5 by nudging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now That'll put a one stud gap between those two plates. Now we'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't see it, but I can actually click it. If I want to be able to see it a little better, I can put my switch plate down lower so it's not so high up. I just do it this way because it's the way I've been doing it. And then I got to go down a little bit. There we go. So now I'm up against this one, and I want to have that one stud gap in there. And now you'll see all the wall mounts are directly above the chest themselves and not above the latch. It just looks better, in my opinion, to not have it up against the latch. Recently, Epic made it tougher to break those switches, so I just break the wall now. The wall mount will stay where it is because it's actually on the shelf there and not on the wall. So then we're going to go ahead and replace that piece of wall. And we'll do the exact same thing on these two walls. But let's go ahead and try that with the switch a little bit further down. Just want to make sure you have room for your wall mount to slip under the switch. So we're going to do this, nudge it down, turn to green. Now I know that the latch is toward me, so I want to go back as far as I can here. Come forward 5 and do it again. And then I can't do it the 4th time without getting out of the way. There we go. And we've got the one stud gap there. I'm going to skip the back wall for now because it's just the exact same process as what we just did. Now on the display cap, end cap, what we want to do is we can put 10 wall plates in here without them getting in each other's way. We start one stud gap away from the outer wall, and we put a one stud gap in between each one. Now we can get all 5 of the floor ones. And I'm looking at the floor, and then I'm nudging it to the wall. So if I break the wall now, this wall plate will break because it's stuck to the wall, not to the floor. And just to demonstrate, there we go. So I'm got my crosshair on the floor, and I just nudge it all the way there. Now for the next step, we do want it up fairly high. And it might be easier actually to do the top portion before to do the top mounts before the bottom mounts. And I just messed up and forgot a step. So let's get rid of that. There we go. Let's get that piece. There we go. Get that blast powder. All right. So you'll want to, on this floor, if you're using the first order interior walls, you want this floor piece right in the middle of that strip, right where the black part meets the lighter part of the wall. All right, now the sun's going down. I'll be right back, and we'll get some daylight. All right, now we have some daylight. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a 2x16 down, and then a 2x6. And then I don't think I actually have to put this next one down, but I'm going to do it anyway just to complete the shelf. I think that there's actually enough on that 2x6 for the next wall plate to sit, but I'm going to go ahead and put it there anyway. Now we want to put switch plate up pretty high under the shelf. And then again, you want to look at the back edge of the wall plate where it's close to the wall, and then you want to nudge it up against that shelf we just put in, the floor piece, and we're going to stick to that And now this is right up against the next one, so I want to go one more. So it's got a one stud gap between them. And I can't put the next one here because that's in the way. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have to bust this one out. You have to be careful with these pressure switches sometimes too. If you get too close to them, you hit straight through them and bust the wall. And then the way to get that up there is we can look at the one of the previous ones we just hung up. And then you can nudge it so that it's directly inside of the other one, and then you just move it out 5. Now it's exactly right where we want it. Now we can put whatever we want up there on the wall plate. Here, we'll just throw some knot root up on there for now. I'm going to stick one there. One there. One there. All right, and what did I need? I needed ruby. All right, so let me go ahead and get some ruby real quick. I've got some right here. And we'll get this end cap looking really good. All right, so now that we've got that up there, what I could do is I could put the roof on now, which would be essentially just a floor piece, or I could expand out on this here. On this, there we go. Nudge it over. Put that there. Nope, that's too long. I need a 2x4. All right, so I could nudge that over. It's nice and centered. I want to have the light. That will make it a lot easier to see. So I go to decorations, or not decorations. We want to go to furniture, lighting. I choose the first order dorm light. That's the one I prefer. Choose whichever light you like. And that really just brightens it up. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to decorations, electronics. This is where the first order wall is, the glass wall. And I just place that there, and now I've got my display case closed up. Of course, there's no top on it right now. I can always throw a floor piece on there to seal it all up. But I'm just going to leave this like that for now. And then if I want to add something in my display cap, all I got to do is bust it, add what I'm wanting in there, and then just put it back in, put the wall back in. And that's basically what I'm doing on my warehouses now. And so I can expand this warehouse out further so that everything in the display case is on this side of the hallway. Or if I wanted, I could just have, if I was going to have a shallower warehouse, I don't have to have all these display cases. I could have fewer, or all these wall mounts in the display case. I could have fewer wall mounts, or I could have one display case for both sides of the hallway. It's however you want to do it, but this is just the way I've been doing it, and there's really no wrong way to play with Lego. Just have fun, be creative, and be kind to each other.